All right. Good evening. Welcome to the Falls Township Board of Supervisors meeting on Monday, April 27th. We'll begin with a salute to the flag, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Shepherd, can you call the roll?
Here. Here.
Here.
Here.
Here. All right, thank you. Before we get started, we're going to hear from Rich Cipollito, our Fire Marshal, for the 2025 Annual Fire Marshal Report.
Okay, good evening. I guess this is on. Once again, thank you, and it's neat to do this in the new building. This is our 2025 Annual Report, and as I promised, I'll make it as painless and quick as I can. As you know, the department has 5 full-time employees, myself, 3 fire inspectors, and a new clerical assistant that we just hired in February who is doing a great job, I might add. Some of the roles and responsibilities we have, we do investigations, we do inspections. The people in the department all respond to emergency incidents to supplement the volunteer fire departments. We do training, education, we do plan reviews. We also are in charge of emergency management for any large-scale event. And we have to continue our education and training to keep our CEUs for our certifications. All the members of the department are licensed through the state. We inspect over 1,200 locations within the township. This is all for fire and life safety to protect the employees as well as the firefighters. The pictures that you're going to see are all true pictures that we had from this year from different places we inspected. You can see the left photo there. That's a blocked stairwell coming from a basement. Someone decided to block it over, so if you have guys in a basement trying to get out, they're not going to succeed. The other one is a roll-up door that was padlocked, so of course they're not going to be able to escape out of it. Fire protection systems, these are some of the things you come across. That's a painted sprinkler head on the left-hand side that won't operate properly, a covered smoke detector, and the fire alarm panel in the bottom doesn't have any power to it. It's in a failure. These are some of the other things that they come across. This is the left photo is a standpipe in one of the hotels. You couldn't get the cap off because it's up against the wall. And the hydrant you see, I don't remember exactly where that was, but they put a bollard too close that you couldn't open the hydrant. If, you know, in the middle of the night you're trying to open a hydrant and you're hitting a bollard that they installed. I'm sure any electrician here will appreciate some of these. These are real photos of an electrical panel left open like it was. There's combustibles by the right photo and by that electrical panel. One of these, the left one, is in a daycare. They found combustibles in the sprinkler room, which is like a double no-no. The right photo shows that was a restaurant, right, John?
Correct.
It's a restaurant in town that the actual flue off the heater was disconnected from the chimney, so it's pumping CO into the building the whole time people were eating. I mean, that's a catastrophe waiting to happen. For the year, the department did 1,218 fire inspections, about the same as last year. The square footage, this is important because although the amount of inspections that have been done, you can see the square footage has gone up 34% since 23, from 20 million square feet to almost 27.6. Most of that being North Point. And it's important because even though the amount of inspections is the same, you have to walk every square inch of these buildings as you go through. So obviously it's going to take more time. Everybody in the department, there's 3 of us that are nationally certified, CFEIs, which is a national certification to perform origin and cause investigations. We also coordinate with the Red Cross to help any resident that might need shelter, might need food, might need clothing during an emergency. We did 38 fire investigations during 2025, which is about the average. These photos here are photos that we took from this year. These are actual fires in Falls Township. These are the different type of emergency responses that we go to. I won't read them all to you. You know, we go to structure fires, domestic and residential rescues, vehicle rescues, water alarm activations, and we also help the squad when needed on medical emergencies. This was a hazmat that we responded to down in the down off Steel Road. We had called in the county as well as the city of Trenton. For the year, for 2025, the 4 of us responded to 675 emergencies during the working day. Public Works also has some members of the department that are firefighters. If they're able to, if they're around, if they're not in the middle of a paving job, for example, they'll respond to one of the fire departments too. This is the total that we had for the 3 volunteer fire companies for the year. Falls had 731 calls, Farrell Hills had 667, Levittown 1 did 373. Emergency management, as I mentioned before, we try and plan for any event that's large scale. These are pictures from graduation and from the prom. We put an emergency action plan into effect. We send it to the county so they're aware. We share it with our emergency services to try and prepare for any event or any incident that may occur. We also offer fire prevention and training. We do fire extinguisher training. We do daycares where we go and we talk to the adults that run the daycare. We go to all the schools to observe their fire drills. We also do that for any business that may ask for it. We do smoke detector installations. And if a business asks, we'll come and we'll do any kind of fire training they ask us for. Last year we did 270 people we trained. This is a picture of one of the elementary schools. We were invited to come do a fire demo. So we went through, every student in the school came through and we showed them our equipment, showed them how it works, let them ask questions. I mean, that's what we're all about. We want to make sure these kids have an idea of what to do in an emergency, how to get out, and keep them as safe as we possibly can. We also talk to them about going home and doing homework to make sure their smoke detectors work, and if they don't have them, to contact us. The trailer, which we've had for, I guess, 20-some years, we use that, simulate smoke. These are real pictures of the kids climbing through. We teach them to get low and go, to get under the smoke, and to climb out through a window. As I said, we offer smoke detector installation. Last year we went to 25 different places and we installed 91 smoke detectors. There's my email address. If anyone's looking for a smoke detector, needs it, please feel free to call me or email me at r.dipolito@fallstwp.com. The members also do, for any building permit that's pulled, we go and when the building permit is being finalized out, we do a final inspection to make sure that none of the changes that they made could have compromised any of the fire alarm systems, passive egress, or any other life safety issue. Last year we did 60 of these final, we call them fire finals, in 2025. The follow-ups, we do any fire that occurs overnight. If it requires a follow-up, we'll go out the next day to make sure the fire alarm is back up and operational. Whatever issue they had has been resolved, or they have someone en route to fix the problem. Last year, we went out 208 times, which is about 1 a day for fire calls that occurred overnight. We do fire protection systems. We inspect a picture of a sprinkler system and a fire pump. We do make sure that when there's any modifications made, that they're done properly. We witness the testing, and we ensure that they have a new certification to state that the system will work properly. Last year, different types of fire alarms that we did, or fire protection systems that we inspected. There's fire alarm roughs, there's finals, there's sprinklers, there's fire pumps, suppression. We did 155 of these different systems last year, which was a 25% increase from 24. Plan reviews, anybody that wants to make a change to a business must submit plans, obviously. They're stamped, they're certified, they send them to us, we review them. We make sure they comply with all applicable codes, that the design looks proper, that it protects the proper commodity that they're storing, the travel distance and occupant loads are okay, and that all other life safety issues are addressed. This is a real picture of one of the places actually John came across, just dumping tires on the ground, which besides being a fire hazard, it's rodents and mosquitoes and all that other kind of good stuff. So we do, other inspections that we might do are complaints, something like this. Chimney liners, food trucks, we're getting more of those. Somebody wants to put up a tent, we make sure that it's safe, that it's fire retardant, the Knox box system to change and make sure the keys work, and any other kind of courtesy inspections or code department assistance we might help or be able to render assistance. Last year, we did 114 of these miscellaneous inspections. Re-inspections, most places as we go in and do an inspection for the year, chances are we're gonna have to go back because there's something, maybe very minor, maybe 5 pages. But we had to return over 1,000 times in 25. We did 2,279 initial and with the initial and the re-inspections, it totaled 2,279 inspections of different businesses. Training, we have to attend training. This is a real picture of one of the trainings we attended. You have to do these to keep your hours up, to keep your CEUs for your state certification as well as your fire investigation certification. We finally got through our long-awaited, we used to do everything on paper and red folders. We're able to complete this year, getting them all digitized. They're all online now. We got rid of all the paper, and now we can easily search for them, and they're accessible, and we have them actually in 2 different places, online. The food drive, started that back in 2020. Still going pretty well. Last year, we made 25 deliveries to 4 different food banks around Figures. We delivered over 5,600 pounds of food, almost 3 tons. We've also partnered with Waste Management, North Park section, and St. Joe's Court. They've also taken upon themselves to do monthly, quarterly collections, and then we go collect it and take it to one of our food banks. We can't thank Waste Management, North Park, and St. Joe's enough. Revenue for the department, fairly stable. We're not a money-making department, but we did bring in $475,819 in 25. The different breakdowns are annual inspections, fire permits, and fire reports, the majority of it being fire permits, almost $300,000. This is an overall inspection and emergency list that we provide. You know, this shows how many inspections, re-inspections, fire calls, follow-ups. We did over 3,400 of these different calls, and you know, again, I say this is with 4 people, so we're quite busy. That's all I have. I think I got it through quick enough for Mr. Dents.
You're good.
If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you very much. Very thorough report. Are there any questions from board members?
No.
Great report.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank John, too, because John puts this together for me. If it goes well with
We
me...
knew you did.
Yeah. If it's bad, John did. No, John does a good job with this, putting it together, so thank you.
Thank you both.
Thanks, Rich.
Thank you.
We knew that already, Rich.
All right, that takes us to item 1 on our agenda, executive session. Mr. Clark, if you want to comment on our executive session? I'm sorry, hold on. I apologize. That takes us to item 1, our executive session. Mr. Clark?
Yes, the board held an executive session prior to this meeting to receive information from the township manager and from our office regarding the Shade Tree Commission, the 2026 paving program, and the municipal building. These were for informational purposes only. No deliberations occurred and no votes were taken.
Thank you. That takes us to public comment. Are there any hands for public comment? You can come on up. state your name for the record, please?
Hi, my name is Margaret Marino. I'm here to keep this situation of Upper Thorn Ridge Drive in the view of the supervisors, because I understand once we do get our recommendations, which Mr. Shepherd has been working on, we need your approval, like, immediately. So Mr. Shepherd had set up a meeting in our driveway with several other officials from the township, which was great. And I went to the traffic meeting on April the 13th, and Josh was there, the engineer, but he was not aware of any recommendations or any strategies or anything that the engineer company that's hired by Falls Township had come up with. So I'm basically here to keep it in front of you guys. I don't know if you all know what happened.
Yep.
Okay. So basically, I guess, Mr. Shepherd, if you could answer where we are right now.
Yeah, great timing for the board. And Derek Kennedy's here tonight from RV, if you recall. Derek was with
Yeah.
you at the meeting that day out at the driveway. So we are in the process. I did receive from Derek's office after we met, got some local input from the residents. He was able to provide me a memo. I think it was last week. It may have been the week before. And it's a draft memo of recommendations. So we went over it last week. I had a chance to review it with him. It's probably 3 or 4 page policy memo on different things we could do in this section of Thorn Ridge to address some of the concerns there that are related to, the whole goal is to get some traffic calming in place, slow vehicles down, get them to understand the kind of road they're traveling on, where the section where she lives is windy. It's not a straight thoroughfare like the other parts of the road are. The board will be getting that policy recommendation memo from me by the end of this week. I wanted to look at it one more time. Okay. You're going to see multiple things in there that we can consider. Some of them are probably going to be shorter term, some are a little bit longer term, but I think it's some things we need to talk about and then ultimately make a decision if we want to move forward with. Some of the things are going to be relatively straightforward. You've seen them before. Some of them might be a little bit different, not that you haven't seen them, for instance, like speed humps to slow down traffic, but we haven't used them to the best of my understanding in Falls in the past. So we need to talk about that, see if it makes sense, in this location. But I think we're at the point finally, we have the memo. You'll see that by the end of this week, and then we'll keep moving on it. And I think some of the things will be easy for the board to say, that makes sense, let's give it a try. Others, you may just want to think about it a little bit more. You may have some questions. We certainly could get Derek to come out to a meeting again and talk about things so everybody understands exactly what we're going to be doing whenever we make that decision to implement some of these measures.
Okay, so when you say give it a try, some of the things that the board might agree to immediately, like a time frame, it's almost summer, and I want to teach my grandkids how to ride their bikes on the same sidewalk that I learned, and we can't do that right now.
It depends. It depends how we implement it. So, and then one of the recommendations is near where you live, near the one intersection, is for an additional stop intersection. So if we just, for instance, if the board agrees with that recommendation, what we have to do is advertise that, so it becomes an ordinance, so it takes a little bit of time to advertise it. We have to physically install the signs. So that can occur over the course of maybe a few months. Some of the other things, if we talk about doing some speed tables or traffic tables, right? If we do temporary ones, that can be quicker because they're temporary. Or if we decide we need to build those, that's going to take longer. So it depends how we do it. We talked about the curb delineators, right?
Yeah.
To kind of narrow the lanes down, to slow traffic down. Again, as a temporary measure, it can happen quicker. Permanent's going to be longer term. It's going to be more physical construction. So I think the recommendation, and Derek's here tonight, he'd probably say, do some of these things in a temporary fashion, because if you do, you can see if they work and see if you like them, or are they causing more of a problem than they're solving. So if we do them in that fashion, they can happen a little more quickly rather than it being a slower process.
Okay, the other question I have is, like we talked about at the meeting, Thorn Ridge Drive is 25 miles an hour. So is it Falls Township that I go ahead and try and get the speed limit on the curves, which is most of the top of the drive where I live, or is it PennDOT?
It's definitely the township, and I did read Derek's recommendation. He might have that in there. I don't recall if he had some curves and some speed limits. Those are advisories. It's not an ordinance that the town needs to adopt, but I can't recall exactly what he recommended.
And am I able to get a copy of that?
It's a draft report right now. When it's a final report, absolutely. It's still in
Okay.
draft format. So when it goes to the board, ultimately, it will be available for the public.
Okay.
Derek, can you recall if on the speed signs, I apologize, on the curves, if you did a recommendation with some arrows or maybe even some, like a 15 or a 20 for the curves?
You're gonna need to go to the microphone.
There's a wireless mic on top of the podium.
So-
Sorry, thanks, Derek.
For the record, Derek Kennedy with Remington Erotic Engineers. In the memo, we didn't make any recommendations on signing or striping changes. It was more new temporary applications. That's lower hanging fruit. It's easy if we need to, we can add curb warning signs or advisory speed limit signs if need be. But we don't have that level of detail in the concept plans right now because they're preliminary.
Yes, we can add those if we think it's necessary. They're not regulatory, so as an advisory, we can install those. And it's definitely not PennDOT, it's definitely the
Right,
township.
and then, yeah, to follow up on that, so it's, township has the ability to make those improvements, but they do have to follow state guidelines, right?
The standards.
At some point, the state has the ability to come in and have some say if what we're doing isn't compliant with what they would expect to see according to their own regulations. But for the most part, it's local jurisdiction.
Thanks, Derek.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I would have had a little bit of a clearer answer, because back in November, we talked about that the company was tasked with reviewing and coming up with strategies. So that was November. I just feel like it's taking so long, and I don't even know if you're aware that it's been 40 years since the very first accident that I can remember. My kid was turning 1, and my parents couldn't get out of their driveway because somebody took out the tree. So it's not like, I want to, action is basically what we want.
40 years is a long time.
Yes, and there has been, and I think I mentioned this to all you guys, like, how many accidents have you had directly in front of your house? Like, we've had many, not 5, not 10, many. And many fights, people crossing, one wants to go. I was just pulling out of the driveway now, and I was doing a turn, and the guy coming this way from Penn Valley Road didn't want to stop for me to make my turn, and he just scooted behind me. So it's like getting out of the driveway is a problem. Having my kids out there is a problem. So I know that you know how I feel about this, and I just hope that I'm not, that's why I wanted to come here to let everyone know what's going on. So when you do get the recommendations from Mr. Shepherd and the engineer, please look at it and think of, your own families. Because, like I said, how many accidents have you had directly in front of your house? We've been dealing with this for a long time. So thank you all for your time, and have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That takes us to item 3, consideration of approval of certificate of appropriateness for 31 Main Street in Fallsington, replacing a wood fence with a new wood fence. This is about as straightforward as you can get. It was approved by the hard board. Any questions or comments from board members?
None.
No.
No.
No comment. No public comment needed. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 4 is a consideration of approval of certificate of appropriateness for 9300 New Falls Road to install solar panels on the inside of the structure.
I think that should say on the addition of the structure, not the inside.
Yeah, it wouldn't really work on the inside.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
I'll type that in.
Any questions from board members? This was approved by the hard board as well.
None.
No.
No.
None. Is there a public comment needed? No hands. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
That takes us to item number 5, consideration of approval of change order for Berry and Homer for the Township Municipal Building Renovation Project. Mr. Shepherd, you want to take us through this real quick?
Yeah, this is $3,300. This is a relatively small change order. It's for some additional wiring work related to the sign in the front of the building that wasn't called out on the plans, and also a little bit of wall prep for some of the murals they hung here in the municipal building. Their original change order request was actually even a little bit more than this, and Jim Gates reviewed it, and they reduced it some. Jim isn't here with us tonight. He wasn't able to be here, but
That's all right.
he's fine with this and recommends it for approval.
Any questions or comments from board members?
None.
None.
No public comment. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Mr. Shepherd, can you poll the board?
Supervisor Galloway,
Yes.
Supervisor Latecki,
Yes.
Supervisor Palmer,
Yes.
Supervisor Mullen,
Yes.
and Supervisor Dents.
Yes. That takes us to item 6, consideration of approval of bids for the road program improvement project. This is in the amount, the low bid, it looks like, is James D. Morrissey in the amount of $3,386,770.68. This is within our budget, Mr. Shepherd?
It's actually going to put us over a little bit, so we'll end up being, for reconstruction overlay, and keep in mind, we do have an alternate also, that I think the amount you read, with the alternate, it would be higher than that. It's going to put us over budget, but it's certainly, it's not that much over budget, and it's well within the means for the town to pay for it. We certainly have money in the fund to pay for this additional work, so if the board is interested in moving forward with this, and I would, take the recommendation of our engineer, Joe Jones, on, whether this, I think he's the contractor, whether he thinks the price is right, it's probably worthwhile to consider getting this work done if we can this year. There's always more work to be done when it comes to the road program.
Any questions from board members? Mr. Galloway?
No questions.
Mr. Latecki?
None.
Ms. Mullen?
Just Mr. Shepherd, what's the alternate number 1 for?
Joe, do you have those specific roads?
Yeah, that's for the mill and overlay of Mill Creek Road from Route 13 eastwardly down to the mobile home park.
And why is this alternate? It might not need to be done?
No, it was only an alternate because of budgeting, and we weren't 100% sure with the volatile asphalt index whether or not we were going to have enough money to do it, so we put it in as an alternate, hoping that the numbers would be right, and we could. It's definitely needing the work.
Are they right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Palmer?
No questions.
I see no public comment. No. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Mr.
Can we just clarify, are we awarding everything, including the alternate?
Yes.
Joe, I think the number, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the number that Jeff read was probably without the alternate.
That's correct.
Just so we're clear, you can probably, maybe just for the record, do you have the total?
Yes, $3,664,133.12.
And that's James D. Morrissey.
And that's James D. Morrison.
Thank you.
All right. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Mr. Shepherd, can you pull the board?
Supervisor Galloway?
Yes.
Supervisor Latecki?
Yes.
Supervisor Palmer?
Yes.
Supervisor Mullen?
Yes.
And Supervisor Dents.
Yes. That takes us to, we're not doing number 7 tonight, so that takes us to number 8, is the consideration of approval of purchase of, pool chemicals and supplies,
Bless you. Twice.
excuse me, I'm sorry, for the Pinewood Pool, from the Bucks Montgomery Aquatic Consortium.
Yeah, so this is a bid, my understanding is we do every year for pool chemicals, which is wonderful. We're doing it through the consortium. This would be, if the award is approved by the supervisor tonight, to Buckman's Incorporated. My understanding is they've been the low bidder for many years. There was a recommendation from Brian Andrews. He gave you the particulars on some of the chemicals did not go up in price. Some went up slightly in price from 2025. Nothing drastic. So the recommendation is to award it to Buckman's.
Any questions from board members? Mr. Galloway?
None.
Mr. Latecki?
None.
Ms. Mullen?
Nope.
Mr. Palmer?
No.
All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. You want to pull the board, Mr. Shepherd?
Supervisor Galloway?
Yes.
Supervisor Latecki?
Yes.
Supervisor Palmer?
Yes.
Supervisor Mullen?
Yes.
And Supervisor Dents.
Yes. Item 9, we have a donation request from the American Legion for the 2026 Memorial Day Parade. This is a standard $6,000 donation. Any questions or comments from board members?
No.
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 Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Mr. Shepherd?
Supervisor Galloway?
Yes.
Supervisor Latecki?
Yes.
Supervisor Palmer?
Yes.
Supervisor Mullen?
Yes.
And Supervisor Dents.
Yes. Item 11, consideration of approval of authorization for advertisement amending ordinance for Chapter 79, Shade Tree Commission. Currently, we have an inactive Shade Tree Commission due to a lack of members, so the board has discussed and would like to merge the Shade Tree Commission and basically put their duties under the EAC, the Environmental Advisory Council. That's the short answer, and is there any questions from board members? Mr. Galloway?
No, it's a good idea.
Mr. Latecki?
Same.
Ms. Mullen?
No questions.
And Mr. Palmer?
Support 100%.
There's no public comment needed. Is there a motion? So just advertising tonight, right?
Yes, just motion to advertise.
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
We have consideration of approval from Remington and Vernick Engineers for proposal for traffic engineering services, school zone speed improvements and signs. This is something else that we've been discussing for a while. A lot of the school zones in Falls Township need updating, so that's basically what we're doing here. You want to take us through anything? Do we have any questions for?
Yeah, I'm mainly here for questions, and
Yeah.
answer them, but I think you encapsulated well there.
We don't know exactly what we're doing, right? Do we have?
We're going to come up with, this is a good plan. We talked to RVE about this, I think even at the end of last year, we talked about it. It took me a little bit of time to get it in front of the board. We have a lot of different school zones, and they've been developed over the years with different regulations, and I think from some of the things they've looked at, in addition to the police, realized that those school zones probably aren't consistent from a standpoint of how we have them marked and identified. So this will do an analysis of every one of our school zones, and it's going to make standard recommendations. We're going to come up with like 3 or 4 different plans for school zones, depending on the type of traffic there is, the location, and we'll be able to then use those templates and use them at different locations. So I think this is probably a really good program to get us up to standard on what we need to do to make sure all of our school zones meet current standards. So this is a good project.
All right, thank you. Pretty straightforward. Any questions from board members?
No, I just know that I live adjacent to a school zone, and I see the need. And what was it, just last year, you signed an extra crossing guard to Oxford Valley Elementary, and it's really helped out a lot. But yeah, they could all use work. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know I've said this to our board members, but I'm going to suggest it to you as well. If you go down Makefield Road, Makefield Elementary School they did a really great job with that school zone. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but from the chevrons to the grids between the lanes and on the sides, you know you're in a school zone. There's no way to mistake it. So with that, there's no public comment needed. Is there a motion?
Well, I have a comment.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Mr. Shepherd, do you know if there's any state grant funding for this?
Not for this project. We might be able to, depending on what the recommendations are, what we need to spend on upgrades, if anything, we might be able to look for some grants. Derek and his firm spend a lot of time with us on various state grants. They're very familiar with them. We do a lot of grant applications for our traffic signal upgrades through his office, which is great. Those are big ticket items. So usually when we're going back to PennDOT, it's for significant amount of money, into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So they always keep me abreast of those programs. I appreciate that, but this one's a little bit smaller. Depending on what comes out of it, we might look at a grant for an improvement, just depending on what it would cost.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I would say some of the school zones that might have flashing operations would fall under some of the signal grants that we go after. It gets a little more expensive, so there may be opportunities there, through PennDOT, but we'll see, what comes out of the work and those opportunities as we develop it.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 13 is the minutes. Are there any edits to the minutes? Wait, did I skip something?
12.
I skipped number 12, I'm sorry. Are there any appointments tonight?
No.
No.
No. I apologize for that. That takes us to the minutes. Any corrections or changes needed for the minutes from March 23rd? I have none.
None.
Excellent minutes as always, Mrs. Fuller. With that, is there a motion to accept the minutes as?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second. All in favor?
Aye.
That takes us to the engineer's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the month of March, we had 3 earth disturbance applications submitted, all residential in nature. No land development applications were submitted. The two residential earth disturbances are for new homes, one of them on 209 Alden Avenue, and the other on 140 Fallsington Tullytown Road. Both of those projects are under review. And the third residential is for a pool demolition on Vermont Lane, and that one has been approved. All of our updates in the report are identified in red text, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Any questions for Mr. Jones?
No question.
No.
No.
No. Is there a motion? Or we don't take a motion, I'm sorry. That takes us to item 15, the bill list. We have a bill list in the amount of $2,561,766.35. Any questions or comments on the bill list from board members? Mr. Galloway?
No.
Mr. Latecki?
No.
Ms. Mullen?
No.
Mr. Palmer?
No comments.
Is there a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Mr. Shepherd, will you pull the board?
Supervisor Galloway,
Yes.
Supervisor Latecki,
Yes.
Supervisor Palmer,
Yes.
Supervisor Mullen,
Yes.
and Supervisor Dents.
Yeah, yes. That takes us to the Jones Engineering bill list in the amount of $364,877.75. Any questions or comments on this bill list, Mr. Galloway?
None.
Mr. Latecki?
None.
Ms. Mullen?
No.
Mr. Palmer?
No comments.
Is there a motion to pay this bill?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Mr. Shepherd, can you pull the board?
Supervisor Galloway,
Yes.
Supervisor Latecki,
Yes.
Supervisor Palmer,
Yes.
Supervisor Mullen,
Yes.
and Supervisor Dents.
Abstain. That takes us to item 17, manager comment.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Okay, this is the board comment. Don't forget, board members, Mr. Shepherd is a Pittsburgh Penguins fan.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
I did.
Where's his hat?
I think they won the last game, for the record.
Oh. Any board comment, Mr. Galloway?
No.
Mr. Latecki?
None.
Ms. Mullen?
I do. Quickly, I just want to acknowledge our Environmental Advisory Council for recently in the past, they've worked with like several vacancies over the years, and more recently, they have full membership. They're really enthusiastic and active, and it's been very refreshing. Recently, they represented the township at Middletown's Earth Day celebration. It's usually at the park, but because of the rain, it was at the Oxford Valley Mall. I stopped up there. It was the busiest I have ever seen the mall, well, in like 10 years.
There's a lot going on that day.
Tons. But it made our table like wildly popular. Chip Taylor donated tomato plants, pepper plants as giveaways. But even after those ran out, we had a lot of our members present because they're so enthusiastic. They're eager to assume the Shade Tree Commission responsibilities as well as looking into some other things. So they've really been doing a lot of good work, and I just want to thank them for it.
Excellent. Thank
Yep.
you. Mr. Palmer?
No comments.
And I have none. With that, we'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.